welcome back to another episode of Today's Struggle. As my guest here today, LaBria. All right, Bria also is a mother. She's a wife of 6.5, 7 years, according to your husband. Uh, and also entrepreneur. Give your business a shout out real quick.
I am the owner of Body Butter by Bria Cosmetics. I sell body butters, scalp oil, any kind of skincare products you need, and hair care products.
Go shop and support another black entrepreneur out there, okay? All right, so we're going to jump into these 21 questions. You give us your perspective as a black woman, entrepreneur, mother, wife, all those titles, okay? All right, here we go. So, just to start off, just tell us who you are internally. Who do you feel like you are? Who do you see yourself as daily?
I'm Labria. I'm wife, mom, superwoman, entrepreneur. Um, can somewhat be spiritual friend to others. Well, whatever I can be in that moment.
Okay, all right. You feel like you juggle all those titles well, or do you feel like some of those titles you're trying to, but it's just you can't get enough time to do what you want in that field?
Sometimes I fail. Sometimes I feel like I don't do enough as
Okay.
any of those things.
Yeah, whenever you balancing different hats like that, you can't give 100% to everything every time. So you're gonna feel guilty that some stuff is getting left out, right? It's just how it is in life. We do our best.
Right.
How do you view mental health in relation to the black community? Is it a good place or are we in a bad place? How do you feel?
Bad.
Bad.
Because
Tell me.
a lot of us were taught what happens in this house stays in this house.
Mm.
Our parents did not seek therapists. They feel like going to see a therapist is just wrong. A lot of people feel like it's not the work of God to see a therapist. So I feel like a lot of people are messed up in the black community.
You're right. That saying, what you said, what goes on in this house stays in this house. Mm-hmm. Another one is if you be like, I feel depressed. What would they say? I'll go depress your ass. Am I lying? Now I'm telling you, you're not allowed to be depressed. They'll be like, what you got to be depressed about? You don't pay no bills, you don't do nothing around here but eat, sleep, and shit. You ain't got nothing to do to be depressed. Now go in there and clean that roof out depression. That's how that was your talk.
Right.
And now we ain't gonna talk about it no more.
Right. That was it. You got the harp of your feelings.
Right. As a person of color, have you ever dealt with depression? And if you have, how did you heal from it?
I have. As a teenager, I saw a therapist as a teenager. I went for a physical exam and they asked you all these questions about your mental health. And they asked the question was, did I feel like I was depressed or suicidal? I answered yes, because I tried to commit suicide 3 times as a teenager. Mm. So I went to see a therapist and that worked. Now I'm better at expressing myself. Like if I feel like I'm going into a depressed mood, I'll talk to my husband for the most part. But yeah, and prayer.
Prayer helps you out a lot.
Oh yes, a lot of prayer.
Do you ever feel like you wanted to go seek professional help? What you have in that background?
Oh yeah. A lot of times I'm just like, I need a therapist. I'm just a little too lazy to just be like, or I'll just text you. How you feel about this? But like if I feel like I'm getting to that point where I feel like I'm going crazy, I could text you, but a lot of times I'm just, I need a therapist, a stable therapist.
You know they online now, right? So you got time. You can't say you ain't got time no more. They right there on your phone now.
Yeah. Okay. I need to do better.
If you don't mind sharing, what was the methods that you used? Some young girls out there might be listening. What led you to those methods of suicide?
Abuse.
Abuse.
Abuse in the home. My mom. So my mom has always took a lot of blood pressure medicines. She
Yeah.
has congestive heart failure. So I would come home and just take her medicine on random days, the 3 different times. Just take her medicines. And the last time I tried to kill myself, I woke up and I was still in the bathtub. The water was cold. So I, I got out the bathtub, got myself together, and I came out and she was eating dinner. Like nobody came to check on me.
Mm.
So
How long was you up there?
I know I came home from school. I remember getting off the bus. Came home from school. I got a beating for, she said I was talking in class. She said a teacher called her and said I was talking in class. Whatever. So I got a beating and it was bad. Like I try to, push the memory back because that's the worst beating that I had gotten from my mama. And so I was like, you know what, this is it. And so when I woke up, it was like 6 o'clock because that's about what time she would eat, or we would eat together. And she was just sitting there looking at me like, and I'm like, you didn't come check on me. So when I went to get physical, because I wanted to be a cheerleader in high school, they asked me about depression, whatever. And I told them yes. They put me on a depression pill. I can't remember the name. It starts with an L. But the therapist that I had was a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted my mama to come with me to the therapy sessions, and she refused.
Mm-hmm.
So at this time, I'm turning 17, and I know it's time for me to graduate. I met my husband shortly after I graduated, and it's been me and him since I graduated high school 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So that kept me from killing myself. I knew if I'd have stayed any longer, I wouldn't be alive, because she eventually made me stop going to see my therapist every Thursday. That was my day, Thursdays, and she made me stop going because I don't think she liked to see me happy. So
Yeah. Do you feel, and this is just something that popped in my head, do you feel like it's a lack of education and understanding on her part? Or you feel like she had enough time to get enough education at this point?
time. My mom grew up. My grandparents, my grandma's passed, but they were a great couple. They showed what it was like to love, like how to love. I still don't understand why she was that way towards me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a sister. We were raised together, but separately, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We weren't raised in the same home.
Okay.
She's totally different from how I am because of how she was treated versus how I was treated.
Mm.
So I don't understand why I got treated that way.
Do you feel as if those was the hardest time in your life? Or is there another incident where you feel like it was the hardest?
I feel like it got worse. My dad went to prison. So that was my person. So I feel like once my protector, got sent away, she knew I didn't have anywhere to run other than my grandma, but I mean, she's a little old lady.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad could physically come pick me up and remove me, but now he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like it got worse once he was gone. She knew, she don't have anybody to come pick her up and take her away. So it just got worse over time.
With your dad being in prison around that time, was you still be able to communicate with him, or was it just off, communication just completely off?
We wrote letters. I got approved to go see him, but my documents mysteriously got thrown away. They got lost.
Mm.
So when it was time for me to go see him, I couldn't. I didn't get to see him until when it was time for me to have my first child.
How long was that?
He went to prison in 2009 because it was the end of my 11th grade year in high school. He got out in 2011 or the end of 2010, something like that. But I didn't see him until summertime of 2011.
Wow. So good. Over 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like your parents or either parent, which parent played a bigger role or lesser role in your mental health or struggles today?
I feel like they both did. I feel
Okay.
like my mama made it hard for me to know what affection was. And I feel like my dad could have, I feel like he tried, but didn't try hard enough to save me from her.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he could have, more could have been done because everybody knew what I was going through. And I feel like it just wasn't enough all the time.
With the relationship you had with your mother, did it? How did it affect you towards men? Was it because sometimes you had a unique situation. You had your father in your life, but your relationship with your mother wasn't good. Usually, you'll have a girl where the relationship with the mother is poor, but they don't have a father in their life, so they end up having like a hatred or manipulative ways towards men. Did you go through that, or was it your relationship with your father stopped you from having it?
With, yeah, I was kind of promiscuous, like, but at the same time, because of how my dad treated me, and always reminded me this is how a woman is supposed to be treated,
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I wanted. So
Right.
I would date, as a teenage girl, I dated, but nobody was who I wanted them to be until I met my husband. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this is it. Like, every little thing he did, open doors, take me out to nice restaurants, buy me nice things. Like, this is what my dad showed me all my life. So I
Mm-hmm.
knew he taught me pretty good.
Okay. Did you feel like it was easy to love a man? Did you feel that? You feel that come from your relationship with your mom or relationship with your dad?
From my mama.
With your mom?
Because I always tell people my mama showed me how not to be a wife,
Oh wow.
how to love a man the right way, how to
Mm-hmm.
tell a man, I love you, you can come and talk to me, not just put him down. Like, with a lot of the things my husband went to, I would ask him, how do you feel? And I still ask him, if he's got a look on his face and I feel like he's depressed, what's wrong? And
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep asking him until he finally say, Bria, I'm okay. So I'm always making sure he's okay. But I didn't get that living in the house with my mom and my stepdad because I never heard him express himself to my mama or tell her, I love you, you're beautiful. Like, she showed me how to talk to a man, but not how to talk to a man,
Mm-hmm.
not to demasculate my husband in his tough times.
Yeah, that does play a part. I think a lot of women don't understand that men perceive love um, in the form of respect.
Mm-hmm.
We don't perceive love like a woman perceives love, like in an
Right.
emotional way.
Mm-hmm.
You can love and kiss all over that man all day long, tell him you love him, this, that, and the third. It's nice, but we feel love when we with a woman that respect us and know how to talk to us
Mm-hmm.
and know how to, control her mouth and know what to say to a man, what not to say to a man. That's when a man feel love.
Exactly.
So, and a lot of women don't understand that.
Exactly.
Um, do you do you feel like your how can I say it? Do you feel like your upbringing made you stronger as a mother and a wife, or has it put you in situations where it's like you struggle more?
I think it made me stronger. I don't like to beat my kids.
Yeah.
I don't like to punish my kids. I will put them on punishment, but a lot of things I draw back from because I don't want them to grow up with something I did in the back of their mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a lot lenient with my children and a lot lenient with my husband too. So I draw back a lot. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing sometimes.
I think it depends on how you look at it. You might feel like your kid with less adversity than you, so they're more ignorant or more susceptible to things that you wouldn't have gone for because you blocked them from a lot of adversity versus do kids really supposed to have that much adversity in their life? You know what I mean? I think we're programmed as black people to make our kids' life harder than what it used supposed to be because we feel like they got to be tough. I think it's a balance. You got to know when to. I think perfect example, Master P. Master P is a multi-millionaire, and his sons wanted to play basketball, right? So he's like, hey, y'all want to play basketball? When I wanted to play basketball, I used to walk to the park every day because I ain't had no choice. I had nobody was going to drive me to the basketball park to play basketball. So don't think y'all going to get in my $200,000 car and get a ride to the basketball court every day.
Right.
No, y'all know it's a park up the street. Y'all go walk up that street every day to go play basketball. Now both his sons is in college playing basketball. Like, I think you got to know how to create adversity, but in a healthy way.
Right.
And that's a good example of it. Who's your biggest supporter and how do they impact your life?
My husband.
Your husband. He said the same thing about you. I hope these two got the same answer on this question because I don't want no awkwardness between y'all.
My husband, sometimes I'll tell him, like, with my business, I'll be like, I don't want to do it. I'm quitting.
Oh.
And he'll tell me, you done lost your mind. I'm like, well, I'm tired. Like,
yes.
And he'll say, well, why are you tired? I'm like, you have a passion for something, and then when you keep doing it, it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yes. He won't let me quit.
That's a beautiful thing to have.
Yeah, he won't. He just won't let me quit.
As a fellow entrepreneur that's single, having somebody like that is a blessing. Because I know how you feel. At least 2 or 3 times a week, I want to shut my whole business down and just don't be bothered with it no more. Because people just don't understand, like, you lose so much money before you start making a profit. Your first few years, you're just losing money. I don't give a damn how much sales you think you're making. You're still in the red because of all the money you poured in it to get it started.
Exactly.
And then people want deals. They don't, right? You know how many times people text me? I run a business as a provider to provide medications to people, sometimes therapy. People would hit me up and be like, hey man, can you just send me in a prescription for such and such? Fool. Go to my website, become a patient. You got insurance, like
that's all you gotta do.
But you want to hook up, so you gotta deal with that. So you're losing money. You gotta hookups, marketing,
yes,
money. Because if you ain't paying money in marketing, your stuff is getting buried. Nobody's seeing you.
Nobody's seeing it.
And those friends and family that you think gonna support you and market you, help you market, ain't gonna market you. You're gonna have some.
No.
You're gonna have your select few that's always gonna share your posts and try to get your name out there. But you got 100 some odd friends on Facebook that you know for years that will give you 80 likes for a picture, but you ain't got 80 shares. Oh yeah, so then you got that. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
oh my God. Right.
Right.
Everything you got to keep up with yourself, and then the government with all your paperwork that you got to keep together. You got to worry about this, and then you got to do trademark and copyright and stuff like that. Let's not. And I see how you do your thing on TikTok. Social media.
Yes.
You can't just run the business. You gotta be on social media, showing your face, doing TikToks and stuff like what I'm doing now, just to create a buzz to get people to your business. I'm ranting right now. I'm sorry. Because I know how you feel.
The late nights, the early morning.
Yes.
It's like, this is.
I'm sitting here editing videos. This ain't got nothing to do with my business. Right. But it draws people to my website.
Exactly.
To create business.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Whew, you got me in my feelings with that
Yeah.
one. You know? I had to get that off. You know what I'm saying? I had to get that off. All right. Let's get it. Let's regroup. All right. How has your finances and or neighborhood impacted your mental health in a positive or negative way?
Now that I'm older, I like to stay in the house more. But in my teens, because I've been in North Carolina since I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved here, I was pregnant. So very depressing because I don't know nobody. I didn't have a car.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I was working. So very, very, very depressing. I'm away from my family. Now, um, now that I'm a lot more chill, I could deal with my neighborhood, but I do want to move out of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it because it's where it's located at?
Location. I
Okay.
have to drive 30 minutes to get to a
Yeah, that's why I don't
store.
stay in the country no more.
Yeah, and
I can't do it.
financial wise, um, I feel like I'd be better off being a homeowner. I put so much into being a tenant. I need to invest into something that is mine. Then I won't feel like I'm wasting my money. So,
You know, I used to feel that way, right?
mm-hmm,
But then as I grew in knowledge as far as the way the housing market works and banks and everything, you know, a lot of wealthy people don't own their houses.
mm-hmm,
They rent it because it's considered a bad investment to buy a home or buy a property that you're not planning to flip.
mm-hmm.
So if you're going to buy a property, it has to be something that you know is going to grow an investment. Like with my knowledge now, my next step in life is to invest in a compound, like getting 10 acres, putting a house on there, and then having open lots for other family members to put lots on there.
Right.
So now it becomes that compound is like a little community
Mm-hmm.
that gains in value with the well as the property grows up over generations.
Right.
That's an investment
Mm-hmm.
versus me just going to go buy a house just to go buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
It's to wealthy people that's a poor investment. To us, we grew up thinking that's a smart investment
Right.
because our parents told us that,
Mm-hmm.
but really it's not. It's more. It's smarter to rent, have somebody else deal with the expenses of a place. But if you're going to go get a property for investment purposes, then buy that property.
Right. That makes sense. Never thought about it like
Just some education. Yeah. Because we grow up thinking that way. We got to go buy this house. And so I bought my first house. I mean, it was a trailer, but it was my first little trailer that I bought. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah. It wasn't until years later that I realized, like, I ain't, no.
Yeah.
Nah, it really didn't do nothing for me as far as increasing wealth or me or anything like that. I can't turn around and invest that. You can't. There's no investment on no single wide trailer. Like, there's nothing. It's really it was a poor investment.
Mm-hmm.
It was a waste of money. Now, you know, I live in a house that I can't say it was a total loss because I rent it out now
Right.
and I live somewhere else, but it's easier for me to rent until I plan on investing. So,
Right.
yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yep. Just some knowledge I learned. YouTube, man.
Yeah.
YouTube and TikTok, you'll learn something, man. I'm trying to tell you. You'll learn some stuff. You'll be like, dang, our parents taught us wrong. Rich people out here doing it backwards. Hey, yeah, for real. That's how it is. All right. How comfortable do you get in your relationship with your husband as far as being an open book?
I tell him everything. Everything. I don't hold back at all.
Yeah.
Like he has now at first I was scared. Like I don't want him to think I'm too emotional or crazy, but now I'm just like, oh, I just tell my husband everything. Like they be like, now don't tell your husband. They don't say now, don't tell nobody. Don't tell your husband. Because I'm going to tell my husband everything. If he's sleeping, I got to tell my husband.
That's good. Full communication.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's a strength of yours that you've grown into being vulnerable with them? Or was you just always like that?
I had to grow into it.
You had to grow into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people do. It's scary to just tell people how you feel.
Yeah.
Like how you really, really feel. Not what you think they want to hear, like how you really feel. Because sometimes your mind goes into a dark place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is this person going to judge you or leave you after you say this to them? And you know you got a real one when they look at you and be like, okay, we're going to work through it.
Exactly. It took some time because I always tell my husband how he was as a boyfriend versus how he is as a husband. It's two different people. I'm like, why couldn't I get this as a boyfriend? Because I was at the edge of being like, I don't want to be with you anymore. Before he asked me to marry him.
Yeah.
Like, I was in my second trimester of pregnancy with our fourth boy. And I'm like, I kept telling one of my friends, like, I'm going to leave him.
Wow.
I don't want to be with him. Like,
was it because he wasn't open with you or the communication was off?
That. Sometimes he was mean. Like, people say, oh, Mario, he's so sweet. And I'm like, yeah, I don't live with him, but we went through a lot. And I was just like, I'm here, like, but I felt like at the same time, I'm not getting the same love that I'm giving.
Yeah.
I knew he loved me, but he just had such a hard time of showing it. And I'm like, I'm, see your mama, hadn't never met his dad. I'm like, why are you like this? Like, what?
Be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you from two different perspectives. From a man perspective and a man closely related to him perspective. So I'm going to give you the both. Both, okay? A man perspective, we're just normally taught from being a boys, don't be a punk. Don't show your feelings. Even to the woman that you love, like, nah, don't let her see you cry, because you weak now if you let her see you cry. Let her know that you like her, but don't let her know that you like her like that. Don't be, you know what I'm saying? Don't be coming off as no simp and stuff like that. So boys is normally now, you're talking about as an innocent man in this family. Yeah, we come from a different type of stock. A lot of playboys in our family.
Yeah.
And we was all taught, our generation growing up, me, Mario, Brandon, Antonio, all of us boys growing up, you gotta have more than one woman. Don't love none of these girls. These girls ain't shit. This is what we was taught. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Keep you a side chick. This is what it's gonna be, and this is how we live. We used to watch our older cousins. They married, living the best life, but they got 2-3 girls on top. And this was the men in our family growing up. None of them was emotional niggas. None of them. They all was playboys. So, but I'm gonna tell you what, Mario is the most watered down out of all of us. I crack on him about this all the time. I'll be like, he did not have his back. Okay, he's actually the good one out of all the cousins. You caught the good one. Because you did what? Me, Brandon, Terrence, Antonio, we're way worse than Mario. So, yeah, that's why ain't none of us married but Mario. Think about it. Brandon not. Terrence is getting married, I guess, again. And Antonio ain't married. So that tells you that right there that, you got the best one out of the best. So, hey.
It took a lot of trial and error. I was really going to leave him now. Yeah. But then when he asked me to marry him, I was like, okay. We're getting somewhere. But he's totally, totally different.
Yeah. So what are the things that worry you the most in life?
Losing my husband. our 17-year-old and 13-year-old, they're hot headed. So I worry about them going out with friends and not using their mind because sometimes they forget they got home training and doing something that's going to get them into trouble. So we try to tell them, like, be mindful of your surroundings, be careful who you hang out with. So I fear for them sometimes, those two in particular.
Mm.
Um, I think that's what scares me the most.
When you say your husband at first, is it because of the health issues?
It's always been like that.
It's always been like that.
Yeah, even before he got put on dialysis, he would go hang out and I would be scared. I would not go to sleep until I knew he's on his way home or walking through the door. I have to stay up because he used to be a party goer.
Yeah.
I'm not that girl. I never been that girl. So I'm up waiting because I'm scared of what's gonna happen. And now I'm just like, well, I know he goes through, his health issues, you know, but I always tell him like I know for sure that I wouldn't be able to live without my husband.
Mm.
So I'd rather go first than for him to go first. Because I know that he's stronger than me in a lot of ways. I know
Mm-hmm.
he'll be able to handle a lot, but I depend on him for not just financial things, because we can support each other, but mentally, I depend on my husband a lot.
Yeah. You know, I think I think a lot of black women don't give themselves credit for how pivotal y'all are to a man's existence. A man, especially a good man, has to have a sense of purpose. It's just part of us. We have to have a sense of purpose. And when our wife is gone, where do our purpose go? I've seen men, even my father, to be an example, start withering away mentally and physically because their wife passed first versus a black woman. Her husband could have died at 60 years old. She's still living at 80, 85 years old because y'all resilient in that way. Y'all can take loss and still persevere. Men don't, that don't happen with men. Most of the time, that husband ended up dying a few years after his wife died because he lost his purpose. He don't know how to live without his wife. A wife can find a way to live without a husband. Rarely do you see a husband live without his wife. You see it sometimes, but most of them end up withering away and dying right afterwards. So I don't think y'all give yourself enough credit when y'all say the husband is a strong one. No, really, y'all the strong one. No. If you could change one thing about your life to make it better, what would you change and why?
I would change. Um, I have congestive heart failure,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom has it. Her mom had it.
Well, it's genetic, huh?
Yeah, and my dad's mom had it.
Mm.
So she died in the early 90s, but they didn't know she had congestive heart failure. Um, I would change that. I would change the fact that I wasn't aware of my body as much as I should have been, my health.
Mm-hmm.
It took for me to actually feel sick for me to say, okay, I need to go see a doctor. But of course, when I got to the doctor, well, your heart is only functioning at 17%. So it took for that for me to be like, oh, I need to take care of myself. I need to find a primary care doctor. I
Right.
had an OBGYN, but I wouldn't listen to my body. So once I got diagnosed, I take my health more serious now. So that's one thing I would change, having congestive heart failure and not being more aware of how I'm feeling and waiting until I feel sick to want to go see a doctor.
Right. I think it's a lot of us. Unfortunately, we do that. We
Yeah, we
wait
do.
till we physically can't take it anymore, and then we
Mm-hmm.
when we should have just went.
Mm-hmm.
proactively and just got it. A lot of times stuff can be prevented if we just go do a normal checkup.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that's when you find out stuff. Just a normal physical, and
Catch it
then
early.
catch it early.
Mhm.
We can get it fixed. Versus now all the damage has been done. And I used to feel so bad when I worked at the ICU, and the families was expecting us to basically heal their loved one back to normal again before all the other stuff. At this point, it's too late. They done made it to the ICU. They in critical condition.
Yeah.
If we do get them back stable, trust me, they are not going to be nowhere near themselves again.
Exactly.
They're going to be a shell of themselves. Poor quality of care. Very few people leave the ICU with great quality of care. You got to be young, and you got to be extraordinary because most of the time you leave it out of there with some type of disability, lifelong disability.
Yeah.
if you leave up out of it,
Leave,
because
yeah.
I tell people we the last stop before you see Jesus.
Right.
That's it. You ain't going no, ain't nobody else. If a critical care nurse can't help
Right.
and save you,
Right.
I don't know what else to do. I
Yeah.
mean, it's going to be a problem. So, yeah, I think we need to start doing that and as a community.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you rely on your spirituality or religion for your mental health needs and healing?
A lot. All day, every day.
Yeah.
I'm praying for God to, especially when I'm at work, 'cause I work in eye care, old people, co-workers, different attitudes.
She said old people.
So I'm just like, they're grumpy. My coworkers can be upset about something. So I'm always praying to God, like just right on my mind, keep me stable, help me to control what conversations I partake in so I don't become angry and bitter for being at a job that I actually love. Help me to not overthink in general in life because I am an overthinker. So I'm always praying, like, just help me, just to have a stable mind all throughout the day.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's better than conventional or professional help, or it's just equal, or
It's equal. A
okay.
lot of people, like I said, a lot of people feel like going to see a therapist is not of God, but just like the doctor that you're going to see for your body, your health, what a therapist created for.
Right.
You need somebody, you need extra help, you know?
Yeah. And they got that same calling on their life.
Exactly.
Yeah, so definitely utilize both. I tell people utilize both. Don't. Why would you really leave a whole avenue untouched? Utilize both. Is a two-parent household important to you as a mother, wife? If not, why?
As long as it's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
My sister had a 2-parent household and it wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
So that over time made her choose a parent, even while she had both her parents in the same house. She'd rather be with her dad than to be with her mom. And most girls are like, oh, if my mama said, oh, well, Bria, let's go shopping. Okay. She said, my sister, no, I don't want to go. She chooses her dad every time. So if it's healthy, then yeah. But if it's not, then no.
Yeah, I say that a lot. You can't always say that just because the parent was in the house is going to be better. Because some parents, they doom their kids by bed. They're better off just not even being around.
Some parents, like my husband and the mother of his older 2 children, they're obviously better apart than they were together. Like, they get along. Like, if they're having a disagreement, I'll tell him, like, call her and fix it. Y'all work it out, Like, they get along just fine not being together.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah. I bet you do. I bet you do. It makes your job easier with the boys.
Yeah, like, come on, let's just get along.
Right. I don't understand why why it'd be a feud between the current woman, wife, and the baby mama. Like,
And it don't gotta be like
it don't have to be like that. It will be so much better if those two got along.
I'm telling you. Oh my
Yes,
God.
yes. Do it for the kids.
Please.
Do it for the
It's
kids.
normal, I promise.
Right. As a black person in today's society, what do you fear the most?
The world that these children now are about to grow up in.
Yeah,
It's horrible. They do.
I'm opposite of that, but you tell me your reason why. I like this. I like that you said that. Because I'm going to tell you my reason why I'm opposite of you.
Because they followers.
Yeah?
They follow. I mean, some adults are too now, but they don't. And then, too, if your parents aren't teaching you nothing at home, you're just following what the rest of the world is doing. So I fear for these kids.
You know what I love about Gen Z?
Mm.
Now, I don't trust them. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't trust them at all. And I think they're very entitled. And like you said, they're followers and they get lost a lot. But what I do like about them is they're rebellious.
Mm.
And they're not just
They
going
don't
to
put
take
up
your
with
shit. You're not just going to tell them this is how it's been going down for 40, 50 years and think it's going to fly with them. They ain't going to do it. I love that about them. They're about to bring in so much change to America when they in their 30s and 40s because they're going to be the ones that be like, nah, we ain't doing this no more.
Right.
Nah, I don't even know why y'all doing this in the first place. Like they don't have no fear about doing that. They don't. They will look you right in your face and be like, "Why?
Right.
Why?
They gonna question everything.
Why?" They on their third vacation in 6 months and asking for the fourth one. They be like, "You ain't gonna go to work? Why? You think I'm gonna stay here and work my life to death? No, I'm gone."
That is true.
I'm telling you, Gen Z, they be like, "You ain't gonna work them to death? No,
That's
no." I love them. I love that they're rebellious.
They are very rebellious.
You hear me? They're rebellious. You can't go up. I wish you would try to run up on some of these YNs out here.
You in trouble.
You are in trouble.
They gonna
You're in
put
trouble. That's why people be talking about be so scared about when I see those KKKs and white supremacist march. I'll be like, go run up in those YN neighborhoods, please.
I'm telling you, you in trouble.
That y'all gonna be running for terror because I'm telling you, they putting them switches on you real quick. They not playing.
I'm telling
They
you.
not playing. So I like Gen Z. And not just black, white too. I like that the fact that they don't take no shit. They do not go hit them with the this is just how it is.
Exactly.
They ask questions and they rebel and buck against the system.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
I don't like being around them.
That's why I stay at home.
Right. As a black person in today's society, what do you love the most?
That there are more black businesses being birthed.
Okay.
When I was growing up, my grandpa, I never known my grandpa to have a job. He had his own businesses. He had a store, he had a lawn care business. He worked in the church. He was a numbers runner. I never knew him to work for anybody else. So I love that, but I do wish that people would get more educated on running a business before they just come out with one. Like, I like you a black owned, but learn something about it too. Learn the structure of it. But I do like that it's a lot more black owned businesses coming to life.
Yeah. Yeah, I do see that a lot more. I just wish we supported each other more.
Yeah. And not try to bargain.
Right.
Because you ain't going to go in CVS and argue about their price. You're going to pay for it.
No, you're going to pay for it. You're pay for it. I think we're all just... I think we're on that first generation of trying to get these black... Well, let me clarify that. We're not the first generations of black entrepreneurs. We're like the resurrections. The original ones, businesses was destroyed, families was killed, history wiped them off the planet of the earth because they built up their own towns and businesses and they was thriving.
It was right.
And since that happened, for generations, it kind of stalled, and now we're getting back to that. So that's what I do like about it. We're getting back to that more. I just wish that we supported each other like they did.
Exactly.
Because you have to have a close network of support to build a whole town.
Yeah, got to.
Of black-owned businesses. You know what I'm saying? That means everybody support each other.
Work together.
We don't do that.
No.
We out here trying to get it on our own a lot of time. What is more important to you, time or money?
Time.
Time. Wow.
People die. I mean, somebody died. Like, you're not gonna get that time back. You know, you're gonna be sitting there wishing, oh, I wish I would have, spent more time. Or, like, I mean, you could get up and go to work, get a paycheck, but spending time with people is important. Like, you create memories. Spending time with people, like, a job is a job. Like, you can have a job today and not one tomorrow, but time with people is important.
Right. Because you can't get it back.
Can't get it back.
It's the most expensive thing on earth, I tell people.
It is.
Time is so expensive. I want you to think about this. This just came to my head. I heard somebody say this in a class one time. If Bill Gates was to drop $100,000 somewhere and lose it, right? He will lose more money going back to go find that $100,000 than if he would just keep it moving and cut it as a loss. That's how expensive time is. He's going to make more money saying, forget that $100,000 that I just lost, versus going back to figure out where did I lose that? Because you're losing time now. And in that time, he could have been making more investments. That's how expensive time. When I heard that, that is crazy.
It makes a lot of sense, though.
How? No, let me ask something different. Is it better to ask for permission or do it than ask for forgiveness?
I guess it depends on who you asking. If I want to do something, anything, I'm gonna ask my husband first versus just doing it and then making a mess in my marriage.
Right.
So I guess it depends.
Well, I like to tell people, if you do it and then now you're in a dispute with the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how silly you look when a person be like, all you have to do is just ask me. And they dead serious. Like, they that type of person that really all you had to do was just ask them. Mm-hmm. Now you sit there looking silly because really that's all you had to do.
All you had to do was ask.
But you done caused the whole problem because you done went and did it because you were scared to communicate. Mm-hmm. That's really what it comes down to, scared to communicate. Mm-hmm. And that's why most people just say, I'm going to just ask for permission if they get mad. Yeah. Can't. Yeah, I tell people, you ain't going to sorry me to death.
I'm telling you. Yeah. Not at all. All you had to do was
all you had to do was just talk to me first.
Yeah, that's all.
Right. But there's situations where if it's an emergency, I can see where it's like they just gonna have to be mad at me. Mm-hmm. So it can go either way. How important is family support to you? This is kind of a good question for you because your family that you built with your husband, I'll imagine that's very important to you. Mm-hmm. Versus the family that you came from with the struggles with your mom. Did you feel like that was important to you? And for them to support you?
I have certain family members on my mom's side.
Yeah.
My dad's side of the family is very small, like literally just small. So I expect certain things from my mom's sisters, and I'm close with my uncles too, but her sisters, they're more active on social media,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. With y'all, I'm very close to y'all. Um, Sometimes I'm understanding that people have things going on. Like, okay, like you and Aisha and Sean are business owners. So I'm like, okay, But I think I'm a lot lenient because I understand people have stuff going on. I do expect certain things,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm understanding at the same time of what you may have going on at the same time. So it's like, it's important, but I understand at the same time.
So, as far as you say that you understand it, like even if it's in crunch time, like you need this person, you still understand if they didn't want it for them for you, for support.
Mhm. Crunch time is different. I'm honestly when it gets down to that point,
Because that's what people mostly hurt.
yeah,
It's not the day to day stuff. It's when it's crunch time.
when you need
Are
people.
you gonna be there for me or not?
Yeah. I will say other than my husband, the person I call first, if they would say, "Oh, I can't help you,"
Mm-hmm.
it would hurt me, is my mother in law. Because I can call her at any second and she's gonna come running.
Yeah.
So it would disappoint me because she's always like, "Okay, I can help you."
Right.
So if she said no, it would hurt my feelings. Yeah.
Understand. Okay. Have you ever felt that racism or discrimination played a part in causing a problem in any parts of your life?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that time.
Just recently, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have a coworker. She is the only black woman that has her own office at the floor that we're on.
Mm-hmm.
I went to check on her. She lost a family member. Went to check on her. The COO comes in, doesn't speak to me, tells her what she needs from her. Instead of her asking me what I was doing in her office, she went to my boss and said that I was just in there talking. Instead of her asking me, "Well, Labria, what you doing in here?" And I would have told her. So, I simply explained, well, she lost a family member. I went to check on her.
Mm-hmm.
All she had to do was ask. And then I noticed like she was doing it to other black women. It was small things like what we were doing on our break. And I'm just like, okay, so I get it. You letting other people slide with
Right.
going in other people's offices. Like I see people doing this, but I'm going to talk to the only the black woman that's got her own office. She's the only one, and it's a problem. But you didn't ask me. And with these other black women, stuff that they're doing is a problem. So I'm just like, okay. So it kind of took me by surprise at first, but now I'm just like, that's who you are. Cool. I see you.
Yeah, I tell people it's a lot more passive aggressive in the
Mm-hmm.
workplace in
Very.
corporate America. So very, which I hate it. I'd rather you just be flat out.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me you don't like black folks. Just say it.
Right.
But no, whenever you're in the white corporate America, it's gonna be very passive aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be very, oh no, that's not it, and
Mm-hmm.
smiling in your face and stuff, and you know.
Oh yeah, because sometimes like I'll ask a question. It could be somebody that just started, and I'll ask a question. It's different doctors, so I'm not just working for my doctor. I will help another one that deals in a whole nother specialty.
Mm-hmm.
I ask a question, and I notice that um, I'll get talked to like I'm a little slow. I'm like, no, I know what to do, but I just
Yeah.
need to you to explain like how much more I need to do. Like I know how to start. I just need, how do y'all like to do it? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm picking up on it, but I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. Just like you said, just say you don't like me because I'm black,
Yeah.
or you
So
think I'm not smart enough to do the job. When in fact I am.
I've been in so many situations when I was the only black person in the room. So I'm used to it. I just act like I don't even see it no more because I'm like, if you got a problem, please address it.
Exactly.
And most of y'all are scared because y'all know I'm more educated than you.
And that's the problem.
And that's really what the
That's
problem
the problem.
is. That's okay. I know I'm fantastic.
Exactly.
Do you think a healthy diet and exercise contribute to mental health, and why?
I do, because if you, I mean, what you putting in your body, it really affects you. Like, and then you got some people. I'll use myself. When I first got diagnosed with CHF, I was scared to go to sleep at night.
Yeah,
Or I didn't want to eat because I'm like, well, if I eat that, I'm going to have a heart attack.
yeah,
So now I got anxiety because I don't want to sleep, but
yeah,
I'm tired because I'm not sleeping.
yeah.
So it definitely can affect you.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Definitely. If you ain't getting no sleep with it too. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. But I've noticed that in my life. Like if I'm not exercising and taking care of myself, I'm more prone to getting irritated or going down and sad about something versus if I was taking better care of myself, it wouldn't bother me like that.
Exactly.
So it definitely plays a big role.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you say is the most influential person in your life growing up?
My grandma.
Your grandma. All right. Well, why would you say that?
Um, my grandma had 3 heart attacks and 2 strokes
Oh wow.
in 1994, 1995, somewhere. My dad's mom died while my mom's mom was on life support,
Oh wow.
and they were best friends. So when she got out of the hospital, I was 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, of course, I don't, understand, but I just remember I stayed with my grandma until I was 10. But every day she would walk and walk and walk. Like you would never even know unless you just looked at the scar for what she
Mm-hmm.
had. Open heart surgery, she would walk and walk around the whole neighborhood, lap after lap. She served her community. She helped my granddad run his store. And even like in her last days of living, they gave her like 2 hours to live. She lived for 6 weeks
Mm.
after they told her she was going to die. She was determined, like, I want to go outside, I want to, like, she pushed through everything.
Yeah.
So I think I get that a lot. Like, I pushed through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I get that from her. Like, I just pushed through whatever I got going on. So she really, she
She was a
influences
fighter.
lot. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Fighter, yeah.
yeah.
It's a warrior spirit right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Last question. What are your hopes for the black and brown community?
Good therapy.
Good
There's
therapy.
nothing wrong with getting a therapist. Because it's a lot of people that feel like they're never the problem. And the whole time, you are the problem. You need help. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I go to church. I get prayed for, I read my Bible. You need help. You need therapy. It's and a lot of people don't know the meaning of this word for real. They use it like this peeling a banana. They call other people narcissists. And I hate when people use that word and they don't know what it means when really they're the narcissist.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Oh my God. You just hit a nerve when you said this. To all you people out there that use the word narcissist, you sound stupid. You sound so freaking stupid to psych professionals, mental health professionals. Because first off, y'all don't even know the criteria for a narcissist. Okay? Most narcissists are born from trauma, from being around other people with personality disorders that put them through hell growing up. And they develop a narcissistic personality in result of that. Okay? That's for one. Some of y'all just dealing with assholes. Ain't nothing narcissistic about them. He was just an asshole.
That's all.
He ain't had no trauma in his life. He ain't had nobody that had personality disorders or nothing like that. He's just an asshole that did you dirty and now you in your feelings. Girl, shut up.
No.
So, all right, let's stop with the narcissist stuff. All right? And then, like you said, most people that shout narcissists has narcissistic tendencies. I'm not going to say they full narcissists, but you can have narcissistic tendencies, and a lot of people out here have borderline personality disorder. That's when they're manipulative, victimizing people. Oh, woe me. Oh my God. Everybody did me wrong. Everybody hurt me. But in the meanwhile, in the background, they're pulling the strings and they're doing manipulative stuff that's causing people to act that way towards them. Narcissists are like 1% of our population. You know who the real narcissist is? These billionaires. You have to be a narcissist to become a billionaire. These freaking world leaders, you have to be a narcissist to become a world leader, a king, somebody that's running the show like that on a big magnet scale like that. It takes narcissism to do that. 1% of our population are narcissists. Y'all fools on the internet, I swear 90% of us is narcissists out here. Please stop it. Stop it. They don't know the meaning of it. They don't know the meaning of it. Just saying stuff for clickbait. Shut up.
No, but I do. I want black.
All right, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Get help.
Piss me off. I swear. Go ahead.
It's okay to get help. It's okay to see a therapist. Like, go to church. But don't into, like a lot of people, well, I went to church. Okay, go to church and be different when you come out of church. Like, don't go to church and say, oh, I went to church. Like, you need to walk with God daily and seek help. Get you a therapist and stop calling everybody a narcissist. And take accountability. We lack that in the black community.
Praise God.
They don't want to take accountability. It's like, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay. I don't know how many times I have to apologize to my husband sometimes. It's okay to be wrong.
Praise God. I swear. Trying to hold people accountable, it's like a disease out here. Yeah. I swear.
They don't like it.
No, they don't. Oh, well. Thank you, Bria, for coming and talking to us today on today's struggle. And for all the people that's out there watching the episode, please subscribe to the Lifestyle Network. Like and subscribe. Watch our shows. Watch Sex and Mentality's first season. Second season coming right behind today's struggle when we're done with this season. So continue to watch us on YouTube. Visit Bria at, what's it again on the website?
www.bodybutterbybria.com.
And there you go. Thank you. We're out.